Watching movies like this really makes me question the overall objective of elite society and what exactly it is that they're trying to accomplish. We're watching power. The elites do not gather for pleasure. They're demonstrating hierarchy, who belongs, who obeys, and ultimately who can be destroyed without consequence. Because in this world, in the world of elitism, intimacy isn't currency, it is control. Now, with that in mind, we're going to talk about my movie recommendation for tonight, Eyes Wide Shut, released in 1999. Now, this was my first time watching this film. The only thing I knew about it, that it was about elite corruption. However, I do not believe that is what this movie is about. I think it's more about elite society being able to control, manipulate, and ultimately really get their hooks into normal, everyday people who are trying to fit in with this specific class. The disturbing part of the movie, it's marriage, at least in the way that they present it here, especially when people choose to ignore everything that is happening around them. And better yet, it exposes the emotional masks that people wear within marriages and relationships in order to play a role that they want the world to see. Now, Nicole Kidman takes on the role as Alice. She is beautiful, she's educated, she's proper. However, she is ignored, neglected, and forgotten in many ways by her husband. The film truly begins when she shatters Bill's ego with one confession, reminding him that she is more than just the devoted wife that he has reduced her to. That single moment sends Bill into a world where he believed he actually belonged because he had wealth, status, and privilege. However, over the course of one night, he discovers something horrific. Education doesn't equal power, money doesn't equal protection, and social class does not mean access. I mean, truthfully, it only determines how close you are allowed to stand in real power without ever truly being a part of it. The tragedy of the film isn't the secret society, it is Bill himself. He never wanted truth, he wanted access. Every warning he receives, he completely ignores. Every danger he encounters, he rationalizes this. Now, because fighting back would mean losing the status and comfort that define him, at least in his mind. He's a doctor, he's successful, he has a beautiful wife, he has a family. Everything that he thinks makes him a part of this social class is exactly what they use to tear him down. What makes this film really interesting, though, is when he finally understands how elite power actually works, and he doesn't resist it. In fact, he gives into it. He falls into place because that's what happens when normal society glamorizes the elites. They finally get recognized, and then they quickly get put into place. What's worse? Now, what really pissed me off about this movie is his wife knows exactly what's happening. In some way, deep down, she understands something terrible has happened, yet she chooses stability over truth every single damn time. Their marriage does ultimately survive, but only because both of them agreed to keep their eyes wide shut. Then we get to the damn ending of this film. Well, Bill and Alice agreed to move on. Their daughter walks ahead of them, unnoticed and right into the hands of danger. After everything Bill has seen, after understanding the world that he almost entered, they still choose normalcy over confrontation. They still choose to submit over resistance. The film leaves you with one terrifying question, and it is: what adults compromise with systems they fear, they don't understand, or they even glorify? Who actually faces the consequences? And the answer is everyone and everything, but more specifically those most vulnerable. So I do not believe whatsoever that Eyes Wide Shut is about the secret societies or the corruption of elite society. While it is in the film, it is not the main focus. It is the marriage between these two. Like, it is the marriage between Alice and Bill, how they confront this, or rather not confront this, how they avoid it, and the things that they do to make sure that their life still remains presentable, at least to the outside world. Everything that they're willing to sacrifice. It's about how ordinary, successful people become willing participants once they realize powers exist above them, and then they decide to live comfortably inside the illusion that it is safer there rather than challenging it. Now, does that sound familiar, especially in today's world? Because it should. Highly recommend this movie. You can find it currently streaming for free on Tubi. This was my first time watching it. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, but I found it interesting that Tom Cruise was the one that played the lead, especially being involved in Scientology, one of the most, arguably, one of the most controversial religions that we have out there right now. In a way, it's as if this movie mirrored his actual life that he was about to experience, losing his family, losing his daughter, turning his back on everything to remain in this space, losing himself and submitting to something that really he's just willing to lose everything for it. Like I said, if you've never seen this movie, I highly recommend it. It was my first time watching it. It is very sexually explicit, just so you know. I wasn't really aware of that when I got into it. However, I ended up quickly finding out. If you watched it, what do you think is the overall theme of this movie? What is the movie trying to say? If you've never watched it, come back and tell me what you think when you do.